Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे रामा 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 हरे हरे। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामचरण हरिदास ठाकुर जी की जय। श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I welcome you all to Bhakti Sangha Japa Conference Call for this late morning session. Thank you all so much for joining. This is Shivani from Ashburn, Virginia. Let us move to the next part of the session. Today's class will be given by His Grace Gaursundar Charan Prabhuji on the topic of Sri Chaitanya Bhagavata Antya khanda verses 5.1 to verse 33. May I know who have joined this morning?
Hare Krishna, Shivani. Why my voice is coming to me only? Hare Krishna, Shivani Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from College Station, Texas. And I'm very happy. This is the last day for the 2025. Thank you so much for Bhakti Sangha for giving us these wonderful classes. I'm waiting to welcome 2026 with the hope of listening more and more Krishna Katha. Hare Krishna.
Hare Bol. Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. Vanita Gandharvika Mataji. Thank you for your beautiful association and all glories to your services. Sri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Garanga ki jai. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dalvat Pranam, glory to Srila Prabhupada. This is Lisa from Baltimore.
Hare Krishna, Neetu Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you so much for joining regularly. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Sri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Garanga ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Sevani Mata ki, Tanvat Padam to you and all Vaishnava. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Vrinda.
Hare Krishna, Vrinda Gopika Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. Sri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Garanga ki jai. Thank you so much for joining and giving a wonderful association. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Uma from Portland, Oregon.
Hare Krishna, Uma Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. Sri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Garanga ki jai. Thank you so much for joining and giving a beautiful association this morning. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Vanita Mataji, you're starting the recording?
Yes, Mataji. Sorry, I lost
No worries.
the sense.
No.
I start.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Once again, I welcome you all to Bhakti Sangha Japa Conference Call for today's mid-morning session. I would like to start by sharing a quote by Srila Prabhupada ji. In Vrindavana, everyone is overwhelmed with love of Krishna. When they cannot find Krishna, they become mad. Although they do not know that Krishna is God, this is pure love without any knowledge of the Supreme Powerful Almighty. No contamination, pure love. Bombay, December 31st, 1974. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Today we are very fortunate to have His Grace, God, Sundar Charan Prabhuji, to enlighten us on the topic of Sri Chaitanya Bhagavata Antya khanda, verses 5.1 to verse 33. Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. Gaursundar Charan Prabhuji, thank you for giving us your valuable time and association this morning. Very happy to have you on the call. Waiting eagerly to hear from you. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Guru and Gauranga ki Jai. Now I handle the call to you. Please take over, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you all the devotees for this opportunity. Let's begin with the Mangalacharan prayers. Om Ajnanatirmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namah Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Sarasvate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay, so we are going to continue reading Chaitanya Bhagavat, and I am going to share my screen. I hope all of you can see my screen. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ajanulambita Bhujau Kanakavadhato Sankirtane Kapitaro Kamalayataksho Vishwambharo Dvijavaro Yugadharma Palo Vande Jagat Priyakaro Karunavataro. Okay, so we are continuing to read from the 5th chapter of the Chaitanya Bhagavat, Antya khanda. So our Lord Chaitanya has completed his visit in Shantipur, and now he is going to go on, and we are going to find out where he is going to go, which devotees he is going to meet. So let's begin. Text 1. Jaya Jaya Shri Gaursundar Sarva Guru Jaya Jaya Bhakta Jana Vancha Kalpataru. All glories to Sri Gaursundara, the spiritual master of everyone. All glories to the Supreme Lord, who, like a desire tree, fulfills the desire of his devotees. Purport. By His Divine Grace, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj Prabhupada ki. The phrase Sarva Guru is explained as follows. He is the spiritual master of all entities in the spiritual world and in the material world. He is Krishna himself, the original personality of Godhead. The controllers of the material universe are involved with the 3 modes of material nature, but he is the Lord of Vaikuntha. So here it says that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Supreme Lord, is Sarva Guru. Do we know of any verse that where Krishna says, I am the Guru? There is a verse in Bhagavatam where Krishna says, Acharya Mam Vijaniya. That means through the acharyas also only I act. Consider acharya to be like my also.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, 1 second. Is volume okay for everyone? For me, it looks like very low. If everybody also have the same issue.
Mataji is good.
Same issue. Same issue.
I can hear
Okay.
Prabhuji.
Okay.
Thank you. Is this any better?
Okay.
Yeah,
Is
now it is better,
it's
Prabhuji.
better?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, please let me know, Mataji. If any time the volume goes down, then I can adjust my mic. Perfect. Thank you. Yeah, so Acharya Mam Vijaniyan Nava Manyeta Karhichit Namartya Buddhaya Suyeta Sarvadeva Mayo Guru. So Krishna is the supreme Guru. He is the Sarva Guru. He is the Guru of all the Devatas. He is the Guru of all the liberated living entities. He is the guide. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita also, right? Sarvasya chaham Riddhi Sannivishta. I am situated in everyone's heart. So as the Chaitya Guru, he is guiding us in his expansion of Sri Balaram. Text number 2. Jaya Jaya Nyasi Mani Shri Vaikuntha Natha Jiva Pratikara Prabhu Subhadi Shri Pata. All glories to the best of sannyasis, the Lord of Vaikuntha. O Lord, please glance mercifully on the living entities. Bhakta Goshti Sahite Gauranga Jaya 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 Shri Karuna Sindhu Daya Maya. All glories to Gauranga along with his devotees. All glories to the ocean of mercy who is full of compassion. Shesha Khanda Katha Bhai Shuna Ek Mane Shri Gaursundar Vihari Lena Ye Mane. Oh brothers, so Vrindavan Das Thakur is requesting us, please hear with attention the topics of Antya Khanda, wherein the pastimes of Sri Gaursundara are described. Because nothing else should be important. When we are engaging in Krishna our activities of Krishna consciousness, we must know that in that activity of bhakti, all the solution to all the problems are there. Past, present, future, spatial, regional, geographical, political, all the solutions are there in chanting of the holy name, in hearing of the Bhagavad Katha, in speaking the Bhagavad Katha. So hearing and chanting is our process, and we should fully be attentive with single pointed attention, vyavasayatmika buddhi, because then all the problems outside are actually nothing but a reflection of the problem within. But if we engage in bhakti, then all the problems will get resolved, even without resolving them. Katadina thaki Prabhu Advaitera Ghare Aila Kumara Hatta Srivasa Mandire. After staying a few days at the house of Sri Advaita Acharya, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to the house of Shriman Srivas Pandit in Kumarahatta. So now Srivas Pandit is residing in Kumarahatta, so that is where the Lord went to visit him from Shantipur. The present name of Kumarahatta is Hali Sahara. It is situated near the Kanchara Pada station on the East Bengal railway line. Srivas Thakur, Sri Shivananda Sen, Sri Vasudev Thakur, Vasudev Datta, and other devotees of Gaura lived at this place, at the place called Kumarahatta. So if we look in the map a little bit here, so if you see, this is the map of India, and this is Bangladesh. Very close to Bangladesh is this Shantipur, right? So this is where Mayapur is. This is where the TOVP is. So Shantipur is little down from there, and from Shantipur, this is the place called Kancharapada, which is what was referred in the verse, that close to Kancharapada is the place called Hali Sahara. So now Kumarahatta is known as Hali Sahara. So basically we can think that the Lord actually, walked from Shantipur all the way down from Shantipur to the house of Advaita Acharya. He walked down by the way of the river to the house of Srivas Thakur, where other devotees were also residing. Text number 6. Krishna dhyana nande vashi achena Srivasa achambite dhyana phala sammukhe prakasha. Srivas Thakur was sitting in meditation on Krishna when he suddenly saw the object of his meditation present before him. So this is a qualification of a liberated Mahabhagavat. Symptom of Bhava Bhakti. Anyone knows what is the quality of Bhava Bhaktas? The first two? Shantir, Avyartha Kalatam. Avyartha Kalatam. They are always absorbed in serving Krishna. They are always absorbing meditation on Krishna. Because the attraction of the pure devotee of the Mahabhagavat is so strong for the Lord that they cannot help it, right? Imagine if we have a newborn baby who looks very cute. All the time we are thinking about the baby, right? All the time we talk to the baby and we are meditating. Even when the baby is in the other room, you are thinking about it. Because the form of the baby and the toddlers, they are very innocent, right? So that innocence is the reflection of Krishna. So now we are talking about a personality who has the innocence of the child, who has the beauty of a youth, who has the energy of the young person, who has the experience of a middle-aged person, and who has the wisdom of an elderly person. All of that combined and multiplied by 1 billion times, or as many times as you want, infinitely. So that is Krishna, right? All the good is in him, and he is the most loving, and that is why all the acharyas, all the Mahabhagavatas, they meditate on him, because it's just so sweet. That is the goal of life, perfect meditation. Shantir avyartha kalatvam. No time will be used for anything else except Krishna Katha. Even when they are engaged in occupational service, even when they are engaged in community duties or family duties, their focus is on Krishna. Focus is on pleasing Krishna. Through this service, let me please Krishna. But Srivas Thakur, being the Nitya Siddha associate of the Lord, is completely sitting in meditation, and suddenly he saw Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu present before him. So then what happened? Nija prana nath dekhi Srivasa Pandita Dandavata Haya Padila Prithavita. Seeing the Lord of his life, Srivas Pandit fell to the ground, offering obeisances. Shri Charana Vakshe Kari Pandita Thakura Ucheshware Dirgha Swashe Kandena Prachura. Pandit Thakur held the Lord's lotus feet to his chest and sighed deeply as he cried loudly. So he is completely overcome with affection. He did not expect the Lord will be arriving, even the Lord of his life, the Lord of his heart, whom he performed all these days. The Sankirtan used to happen in Shiva Sangan. We know the pastime of his own son passing away when Lord was doing Sankirtan. And Srivas Thakur said that if you cry and Lord Chaitanya stops the Kirtan, then you will not find me again. Lord's ecstasy should not be disturbed. Because these Mahabhagavatas, they live completely on this transcendental plane. They know that if somebody has passed away, no matter who he is, right? Somebody has passed away listening to the Kirtan of Lord Chaitanya. I mean, not somebody singing about Lord Chaitanya singing himself. Like, what could be more auspicious? This is that Srivas Thakur. This is that Pandit Thakur. And that Pandit Thakur, whose heart is filled with nothing but, loving feelings and mood of service for his dear Lord. Now the Lord has come. And he has no control, right? So he feels just completely grateful and overwhelmed with affection. And he's holding the Lord's lotus feet to his chest. And he cried loudly. So when in affectionate relationships, especially when there is a meeting after long separation, naturally there is crying. But that crying is completely out of the mutual exchange of intense affectionate feelings. And it's very natural. Text 9. Gauranga Sundara Shiva Shere Karikole Shichilena Angatana Premananda Jale. Sri Gaursundara embraced Sri Srivas Acharya and soaked his body with tears of ecstatic love. So Lord reciprocates with the love of his devotees. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tams tateva bhajamyaham. The Lord loves the devotees in direct reciprocation. Lord is also crying. He is the Supreme Lord of Tribhuvan. He is the Supreme Lord of Ananta Brahmanda Kotinayak. Everything moves under his control. But he is controlled by the devotee's love. So that is the master we have. Sukruti Shri Vasa Goshti Chaitanya Prasade Sabe Prabhu Dekhi Urdha Bahu Kari Kande. By the mercy of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, everyone in Srivas Thakur's household was most pious. They all raised their arms and cried on seeing the Lord. So this is amazing. Everyone in Srivas household, his brothers, his wife, and all the little ones, they all are the most pious. Why? Because Lord personally takes care of his devotees. Right? Actually, Lord takes care of everyone. What is the proof? What is the proof that Lord takes care of a devotee? Any verse proving that? From, let's say, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavata. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, Ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. So Krishna says that I personally carry what they lack and I protect what they have. Even for the yogi, right, in the 6th chapter, Krishna says that, yogi will not be destroyed. So he's a yogi, right? But because he is looking for perfection of life, Krishna says, Suchinam Srimatam Gehe Yoga Brashto Vijayate. So he has not completed the path of yoga. But where he will go? He will not go to hellish planet, as Arjuna was afraid. He will go to Suchinam Srimatam Gehe. And even for the demoniac in the 16th chapter, Krishna says, Tanaham Dushita Kruran Samsareshu Naradhaman Shipami Ajashram Ashubhan Asureshu Ever Yonishu. So they are also completely under the control of the Lord. Those who are have ill attitude towards the Lord. Krishna says, in response to their desire, because they want to cultivate the Asuri mentality, I give them birth in Asuri wombs, and they continue their program. But among all this also, if somebody who has been acting in the past as Asura, if he thinks for a second, why am I doing this? Who am I? And then he meets a devotee and takes good association and wants to become a devotee, what will the Lord do? Will he reject that person even after making this statement? No. Krishna will say, Krishna will accept. Apichetsu duracharo. He was durachari. So Krishna doesn't consider him demonic anymore. He says, oh yeah, in the past he had some mistakes he did, but now he's a good boy. Apichetsu duracharo bhajate mam ananya bhak sadhureva samantavya. Immediately Krishna makes him a sadhu. He considers him a saintly person. Considers him, he is following all the scriptures nicely. There's nothing wrong with him. And Krishna says, Shipram bhavati dharmatma shashvat. Then Krishna makes sure, if somebody develops loving, affectionate relationship with the Supreme Lord, then Shipram bhavati dharmatma shashvat shantim nigacchati. And then Krishna says, Kauntya prati janihi name bhakta pranashyati. This is another verse. Krishna says, personally, my bhakta can never perish. So therefore, my dear devotees, in this world, there is no other process that is foolproof. The process of karma is full of suffering and troubles. Process of jnana is, Krishna says, klesho adhiktaras tesham. Process of yoga, Krishna says, aneka janma samsiddhas, after many births. Yeah, it's a good process, nothing wrong with that. You are yogi, you're meditating, you're worshipping the Paramatma. But aneka janma samsiddhas in the 6th chapter. But for devotee, what does Krishna say? Shipram bhavati dharmatma. Krishna says, in the 12th chapter he says, right? Ye tu sarvani karmani mai sannyasya matpara ananye neva yogena mam dhyayanta upasate tesham aham samuddharta. I am the deliverer. When do you deliver, Krishna? It must take a long time, right? Yogis will take aneka janma. Jnani's path is anyways full of difficulty. Krishna says, Tesham aham samudharta mrityu samsara sagarat bhavami na chirat partha. Na chirat. It will not take very long. For bhakta, it will not take long. So that is why we should take this path, the path of bhakti. And we are so fortunate to have this opportunity to be under the shelter of our dear Srila Prabhupada, under the guidance of our spiritual masters, and chant, dance. Srila Prabhupada said, Srila Prabhupada was in one meeting and he was talking about the Mayavadis and how they have spoiled the whole thing, and they say I am God, and they are just going to go nowhere, right? Because there is no success in Mayavad. But Srila Prabhupada was taking gulab jamun and he was saying, and we will eat gulab jamun and eat our way back to God, because we have that opportunity to offer prasad, right? But for Mayavadis, for impersonalists, they have to say neti, 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 this is not it, this is not spirit, this is, because they are looking to become liberated, but without acknowledging or accepting the supreme dominion of the transcendental personality. And therefore they cannot accept anything which is palatable to the senses, because they have to convince themselves that this is not real, this is not it, because otherwise they cannot become free from it. But for a devotee, he offers everything to Krishna. He works also, he offers his job to occupational duty to Krishna, he gives charity, he offers prasad to bhoga to Krishna and accepts prasad, Krishna prasad. He chants the holy name, he associates with devotees and hears the Bhagavatam. Such a blissful process, right? Where is the austerity here? There is no austerity. The austerity is only that we have to engage our mind in Krishna so that mind can get purified. Shrinvatam Swagata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridyantastoi Abhadrani. So the austerity for devotees is this abhadras. The cleansing of the abhadras is the austerities. That's the only austerity. We don't have to go to Himalayas and stand on one leg, or we don't have to sit around fire, or we don't have to do the neti process. We don't have to, perform the laborious hard work of karmis. Nothing. Just live a simple life, chant and hear, and work on the heart. Work on the heart too, by hearing and chanting, to get rid of the anarthas. Text number 11. Vaikuntha Nayaka Grahe Paiya Shivasha Hina Nahi Jane Naki Janmila Ullasa. On receiving the Lord of Vaikuntha in his house, Srivas Thakur's happiness knew no bounds. He was completely in ecstasy. Transcendental happiness. Apane mathaya kari uttamasana dilena vashila tathi kamala lochana. He brought a fine seat on his head and offered it to the lotus-eyed Lord, who sat down on it. Now this is, there's also Vedic, Varnashram cultural point here, that when a guest arrives, Atithi arrives to home, Atithi Devo Bhava, right? So we should welcome the guest. And let's say we are not very well to do, we don't have any offering done, or we don't have any means to offer anything. But at least we should offer a seat and some water and some kind words. And even if the seat and water is not there, there should be kind words. So he offered, but here for Srivas Thakur, the Lord of his heart has come, and he wants to give everything, including his life, for his Lord. So he brought a beautiful fine seat, which and offered it to his Lord to sit down. Chaturdike Vashilena Parishadagana Sabe Gayana Krishna Nama Anukshana. All the Lord's associates sat around him and continuously chanted the names of Krishna. So Krishna has come, and they are saying the names of Krishna. How beautiful! Because Nama Chintamani Krishnas Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purna Shuddha Nitya Mukto Abhinatvam Nama Namino. Abhinatvam Nama Namino. Nam and Namino is not different. So Krishna's name is not different from Krishna. But here Krishna is in the mood of Radharani, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he is in a mood of a devotee. So what is the devotee most pleased by? Devotee is most pleased when we chant the names of Krishna, when we glorify Krishna, when we discuss about him, when we discuss our realizations of how this, how this material world is a place of suffering. That is why Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written so many songs. Hari Hari Vifale Janama Goaino. I wasted my life. Manushya Janama Paya Radha Krishna Na Bhajiya Janiya Shuniya Vishakhaino. My dear Lord, my dear devotee, I have knowingly drunk this poison, but now I want to take shelter of Krishna. So continuously, all the glorification, the meditation, the singing, the chanting should go on. So that is why here, by example, the Lord's personal associates are showing us, right? So this is what is going on in the spiritual world. This is spiritual world. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, is performing his Audarya Lila as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and his associates are with him. So this is the spiritual world. One part of Goloka is Navdeep Dham, where Lord performs these pastimes. And he, when he descends, he also brings the Dham, and he performs the pastime here also. But what are the associates in the spiritual world here in this verse, text 13, doing? They are all chanting the names of Krishna. So sadhana and siddha. Srila Prabhupada was asked in one interview, Swamiji, what is the goal of your chanting? Prabhupada said, to chant. We are chanting now and we will chant later. Right now we are chanting for purification of the heart. Vidunoti abhadrani. And once, my dear friends, the abhadranis will go away, then the full manifestation of the divinity of the Supreme Lord will manifest in our heart and everywhere else, and then there will be no stopping us. Avyartha kalatvam. Continuously, Shantir avyartha kalatvam. Viraktir mana shunyata. Asha bandha samutkantha. Name gane sadaruchi. So, name gane sadaruchi. Always, constantly. You will feel that there is something is wrong if I am not chanting. That is the state we should aim for. That is the state we should, and that is the association that we should take. For somebody who is disturbed when they are not chanting and hearing, who are, they are always chanting and hearing, basically, in other words, and they take pleasure in it. That is the association we should pray for, because that is what will take us way forward. Okay, text 14. Jaya Jaya Kare Grahi Pativrata Gana Haila Ananda Maya Srivasa Bhavana. The chaste ladies of the house vibrated auspicious sounds. The uludhwani, right? I don't know how to do it, and I won't try it also. But yeah, if you go to Mayapur, if any one of us has been to Mayapur, then when we go to this Mayapur temple in front of Shri Shri Radha Madhav or Panchatattva or Narsingdev, when the altars open, then all these wonderful Bengali Matajis, they will create this uludhwani from their mouth by vibrating their tongues, and it's the most mesmerizing ambience and the sounds that are created. It's really amazing. So in Srivas Thakur also, the chaste ladies of the house, that the most beautiful woman is a chaste woman, a woman who is chaste to her husband, because she can contribute to the development of the entire society. Because a woman is the future, right? Because she gives birth to the future generation. And if woman is chaste and husband is a devotee and sadhu, then the children are trained in the best possible way, and there is the fullest possibility for them to perfect their life. So this should be the qualities that we should all aspire. The husband is chaste to the spiritual master and Krishna, and the lady of the house is chaste to the husband and the spiritual master and Krishna. So they all vibrated auspicious sounds, and Srivas Thakur's entire house became filled with ecstasy. Everyone was in joy. They didn't want anything now. They were just completely full with love for their dear Lord. Prabhu aile na matra panditera ghara varta pai aila Acharya Purandara. When Acharya Purandara heard that the Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had arrived at Srivas Pandita's house, he immediately came there, because he also used to live there. Then text number 16. ताहाने देखिया प्रभु पिता करी बले, प्रेमा वेशे मत ताने करिले ना कोले. Upon seeing him, the Lord addressed him as Father. Then, in ecstatic love, the Lord embraced him. So this is very interesting, right? Can somebody guess why the Lord addressed him as Father? Acharya Purandara? Is there a chat? So the reason for that is it is because Sri Jagannath Mishra, his another name was Purandaracharya. So Jagannath Mishra was also called Purandaracharya. So this is another devotee, Acharya Purandara, because he had the same name as his father, so Lord used to call him as father and create that. And of course he also must be having Vatsalya Bhav towards the Supreme Lord. So then the Lord embraced him. Parama Sukruti se Acharya Purandara, Prabhu dekhi kande ati haya samvara. Acharya Purandara was most fortunate. Who is not fortunate? If you can be present in the presence of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he appears on this earth, then that person is definitely most fortunate and most qualified. He began to cry uncontrollably on seeing the Lord. The word asamvara means impatient or uncontrolled. So Acharya Purandara, he started crying uncontrollably on seeing the Lord. Vasudeva datta ilena seikshane Shivananda sena adi apta varga sane. At that moment, Vasudeva Datta, the great Vasudeva Datta, and various other associates headed by Shivananda Sen arrived there. So they also came there because everyone heard, hey, Lord Chaitanya has come. Lord Chaitanya has come as the sannyasi he is doing. He was from Shantipur. He has come from Advaita Acharya. So, Lord Chaitanya has come. Lord Chaitanya has come. Let's go. Take darshan. So text 19. Prabhura parama priya Vasudeva Datta tahar kripaya se janena sarva tattva. Shri Vasudeva Datta was most dear to the Lord. By the Lord's mercy, he knew all conclusive truths. Purport. Descriptions of Sri Vasudeva Datta Thakur are found in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela, chapter 10, text 41-42, 12.57, Madhya Leela, 10.81, 11.87, 11.137 to 139, 11.141 to 142, chapter 13, text 40, 14.98, 15.93, chapter 15, text 158 to 179, and chapter 16, text 206. And then finally in the Antya Leela, 374, 4108, 6.161, chapter 7, text 47, 10.9, 10.121, 140, and 12.98. So if we want to know about the glories of Vasudeva Datta, then we must visit all these chapters and verses of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, which our dear Srila Prabhupada has personally translated and given beautiful Bhaktivedanta purports. And it's a most dear book for many of the devotees. So we must go and visit and read them. But for this call, for our devotees, I'm going to look at a little glimpse, just to take just a little bit of taste, and then let's see what. So we will look at these verses, Chaitanya Charitamrita. So there are many other verses where Vasudeva Datta is glorified, his as one of the branch of the tree, as this wonderful devotee. But this is one section that I thought maybe we can discuss, if you all may permit. So Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, this is chapter 15, text 158 to 169. So let's see. So this is a beautiful painting from one of the temples where it is very ancient. It's about 200 years old, where Lord Chaitanya is sitting, Panchatattva is sitting along with all the devotees. Okay. So here what happens is the Lord meets Vasudeva Datta and gives him an embrace. Tabe Vasudeva Prabhu kari alingana, tara guna kahe hayya sahasra vadana. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then embraced Vasudeva Datta and began to speak of his glories as if he had 1,000 mouths. So the Lord wanted to just glorify Vasudeva Datta. So because the Lord is equally eager to glorify his pure devotees. The pure devotees, they want to glorify the Lord, and the Lord wants to glorify his pure devotees, and there is a transcendental, affectionate, loving competition between the Lord and his devotees. And it's the most beautiful thing. It is something that we should really aspire for, to be in that environment where there is a competition for glorifying each other with the genuineness of heart and with the genuineness of feeling. Nija guna shuni datta mane lajja paya, nivedana kare prabhura charane dhariya. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu glorified him, Sri Vasudeva Datta immediately became very much embarrassed and shy. He then submitted himself, touching the Lord's lotus feet. So Vaishnava is an ocean of good qualities, but he does not consider himself worthy, and he is a personification of humility. So humility is one quality that is very dear to Lord. You know why? Because it's a quality of the spiritual world. Everyone in the spiritual world is very humble. So Vaishnava is ocean of good qualities, but he is very humble. Like Srila Prabhupada was asked, are you the guru of the whole world? Srila Prabhupada said, I'm the servant of the whole. So Vaishnava is very humble. Even though he came to deliver, even though he had so many temples, even though he had thousands of disciples, so many sannyasis, tall and strong, holding those dandas, just walking in front of him and back. At his one order, books will be distributed in hundreds of thousands. If he gives one order, temple will be built there. But he had no desire for any recognition. He was only wishing well for us, the people of this world, for his followers, his devotees. Jagatari te Prabhu. So now, Vasudeva Datta has a request. Jagatari te Prabhu tomara avatara mora nivedana eka karaha angikara. Vasudeva Datta told Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, my dear Lord, you incarnate just to deliver all the conditioned souls. I now have one petition, which I wish you would accept. So he's requesting the Lord. He has one request that he is asking. But he's glorifying that the Lord has come to Jagat Tarite. So we are so fortunate devotees that we are born in the time just after Lord Chaitanya appeared. It's hardly 500 years ago. Written history is 2000 years old. We have all information available. So it's our privilege. And we have the opportunity to grab it with both hands. Karite samartha tumi hau daya maya tumi mana kara tabe anaya se haya. My dear Lord, you are certainly able to do whatever you want, and you are very merciful. If you so desire, you can very easily do whatever you want. So again, he has a desire, he has a request, but he's not saying that you please fulfill this. He's saying if you so desire. That means a devotee is always subservient to the Lord, even in all his desires. That is his love. He knows that the Lord knows best. The Lord is the most wonderful, the most beautiful, the most affectionate, the most compassionate. And if he has a desire, he says, this is my desire, but I don't know much. So, my dear Lord, if you think this is good, you please fulfill it, if you so desire. And if you are happy with it. If you are not happy, then I am happy to not be fulfilled. But if you are happy, then I am happy if you fulfill it. Like that. Jivera dukha dekhi mora hridaya bidare sarva jivera papa prabhu deha mora shire. Wow. Amazing, isn't it? Jivera papa laya mui karo naraka bhoga sakala jivera prabhu guchaha bhavaroga. My Lord, my dear Lord, my heart breaks to see the sufferings of all the conditioned souls. This is the heart of a Vaishnava. Therefore, I request you to transfer the karma of their sinful lives upon my head. And this is a big ask, my dear devotees. Even to take karma of one person is a big task. But here, Sri Vasudeva Datta, being the special devotee of the Lord with this special desire, He's ready to take karma of all the conditioned souls on his head. Then he says, my dear Lord, let me suffer perpetually in a hellish condition, accepting all the sinful reactions of all living entities. Please finish their diseased material life. So this is the sign of spiritual progress. When somebody is spiritually advanced, then they are experiencing the joy of loving Krishna, and with a pure heart, right? Hridayantastaya badrani nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. And it continues. So that bhakti, Bhagavad Bhakti, one who experiences in his heart, he is so joyful and happy. Natural next step from that joy is to see that, oh, everyone in this world is suffering because they don't have this joy. How I wish that they could only once experience this joy. People are lost in this world, running after temporary things that are not going to give them any pleasure. Thinking about the home, the personal, very limited thinking about one's family, not disconnected from Krishna with me as the center, thinking about everything as existing so that I can somehow get them or grab them and enjoy them, or I want moksha. So he knows, even if you get moksha, you won't be happy because the heart won't be satisfied. You may not have material suffering, but you won't be happy. You won't be joyful. So knowing all this, he wants to give happiness. So all Vaishnavas have this quality. But some Vaishnavas will magnify certain qualities and it will come out by Lord's arrangement, right? So in case of Vasudeva Datta, this desire has manifested, his karuna, his compassion has manifested to an exponential degree where he is saying, let me suffer give me everyone's karma and let me suffer in hell eternally. No problem. So, and then here's the purport to that verse, 163, in the Antya Lila, chapter 15, text 163 from Chaitanya Charitamrita. So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada writes, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Prabhupada writes, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur gives the following commentary on this verse. He says that Lord Jesus Christ relieved only his followers from all sinful reactions. But Vasudeva Datta is here prepared to accept the sins of everyone. He has no followers, he is a devotee, right? And he probably doesn't know much people outside Bengal. But he says, accept the sins of everyone in the universe, not the world, not the Bharatvarsha, not Bhumandala, the entire universe. So the comparative position of Vasudeva Datta is millions of times better than that of the respected Lord Jesus Christ. So this is the words of our Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. A Vaishnava is so liberal that he is prepared to risk everything to rescue the conditioned souls from material existence. So he is very liberal. His heart is full of compassion. As the perfect Vaishnava, he is para dukkha dukhi, very much aggrieved to see others suffer. The entire world is purified simply by the appearance of such a great devotee. Just like now we are all sitting here and having this beautiful discussion in this beautiful Bhakti Sangha Japa call. Why? Because one Vaishnava came and purified the whole world. That is our dear Srila Prabhupada. Because of Srila Prabhupada, we have all come together and discussing. So that is why, because he was para dukkha dukhi. At the age of 70, he left his comfort in Vrindavan, right? The most desirable place for the ones who are towards the end of their life in Vanaprastha and Sannyas. He left that. And alone he voyaged on the ship to come to the Western world so that Krishna consciousness can be spread. So a Vaishnava, even at his own cost, even if he has to pay the price, even if he has to suffer, he is willing to give pleasure of Krishna consciousness, the joy, the gift of Krishna consciousness to others. He wants others to be happy in service to the Lord. Ita shuni Mahaprabhura chitta dravila ashrukampa swara bhange kahite lagila. So then what happened? When Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard Vasudeva Datta's statement, his heart became very soft. Lord is very tender. And when he sees the love of his selfless devotees, his heart melts. Tears flowed from his eyes, and he began to tremble. In a faltering voice, he spoke as follows. Lord's voice was choking. He saw, oh, here's my devotee. He loves me so much. And, he has so much compassion for all the living entities that he is ready to suffer eternally for the sake of these people. And, not everyone was very grateful. We study from Chaitanya Charitamrita that some of them were smartas and some of them were even atheists. Some of them were like Chandkazis and their followers. They're not like, some of them were like not the nicest people that they knew. But a Vaishnava is a Vaishnava, because he cannot tolerate the suffering of others. So where will we find such a master, right? So this is our master and his devotees, and we should not leave their association. Tomara vichitra nahe tumi sakshat prahlada, tomara upare krishnera sampurna prasada. Accepting Vasudeva Datta as a great devotee, the Lord said, such a statement is not at all astonishing, because you are the incarnation of Prahlad Maharaj. It appears that Lord Sri Krishna has bestowed complete mercy upon you. There is no doubt about it. So Lord is revealing here that Vasudeva Datta is incarnation of Prahlad Maharaj. Or in other words, we can also think that a Vaishnava who develops that kind of compassion, they are blessed by the mercy of Prahlad Maharaj. Because Prahlad Maharaj, he was the foremost preacher, right? We may be preaching in some country, where there's so much favor. But where was Prahlad Maharaj preaching? In the kingdom of Hiranyakashipu, the greatest demon on earth, whom the demigods were terrorized of. When Hiranyakashipu used to raise his eyebrow, then the demigods used to have terror in their heart, because my master is angry. The supreme, the controller of this world, because he was controlling the whole universe. Except Lord Brahma, he had control over all the other demigods. But in that, and in his school, Prahlad Maharaj was studying, where they were not supposed to discuss anything to do with Vishnu Bhakti. There he was, Matirna Krishne Parata Svatova Mitho Vipadyet Graha Vratanam. There Prahlad Maharaj was preaching to whom? His friends, school friends, and even to his father. When his father asked, what did you learn? What is the best knowledge? He spoke that I think you should go to forest now. You are the Asuravarya, but now I think you should. So that was his level. He did not care whether he will be killed, and he was tried to be killed, but Krishna protected him. So this is Krishna's real mercy. What is Krishna's real mercy? That development of spiritual qualities of previous acharyas and the recipient. So this is what we can do our self-evaluation. Are we becoming compassionate like Srila Prabhupada or our Guru Maharaj? Are we becoming humble like them? Are we becoming grateful? Are we developing the gratitude? Are we developing the simplicity? Are we developing the paradukha dukhi quality? And we should pray for this benediction. Yes, once we did the evaluation, let's say I did evaluation. I said 0 out of 0, 0 out of 100, or 1 out of 100 in everything. But then what should I do? Then the next step is I should pray for this. I should work on it by studying about these acharyas, by hearing about them, glorifying them, chanting and hearing. Krishna sei satya kare yai mage bhritya vancha purti vinu nahi anya kritya. Whatever a pure devotee wants from his master, Lord Sri Krishna doubtlessly grants, because he has no duty other than to fulfill the desire of his devotee. So this is our Lord. Lord is very affectionate, and he is most eager to fulfill the desires of his pure devotees. So we should only do one thing. We should just somehow become the recipient of affection of his devotees. We should serve his pure devotees, find a pure devotee and serve him. Until we don't find, we serve whomever we meet. Devotee, non-devotee, doesn't matter. But once, when we are sincere, when we serve, then Krishna will give us opportunity. And when we become recipient of affection of the pure devotee, then it says here, Vritya vancha purti kare. Vinu nahi anya karta. Krishna has no other job. He says, I don't do anything, right? In Bhagavad Gita he says, Name partha asya kartavyam trishu lokeshu kinchana nana avaptam avaptavyam varta eva cha karma. I don't have any duty. But this is Krishna's duty. He personally takes it on. He doesn't have to do it, but he takes it on. Why? Out of love. He wants to fulfill the desires of his devotee. So if you become recipient of Krishna's devotee's mercy, then our life is as good as delivered. Brahmanda jivera tumi vanchile nistara vina papa bhoge habe sabara uddhara. If you desire the deliverance of all living entities within the universe, then all of them can be delivered even without your undergoing the tribulations of sinful activity. So just the desire of Vasudeva Datta, all the living entities in the world, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, can be delivered. It is not very difficult for the Lord. Tumiyara hita vanchasya haila Vaishnava Vaishnavera papa Krishna durahabe saba durakare saba. Whose welfare you desire immediately becomes a Vaishnava. And Krishna delivers all Vaishnavas from reactions of their past sinful activities. So glance of a Vaishnava again. Some or other our goal should be to please the Vaishnavas. Never offend the Vaishnavas. That is the offense against the holy name, right? To blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagation of the holy names of the Lord. So there are references in the purport. Aprarabdha phalam papam kotam bijam falonmukham krameneva praliyeta Vishnu bhakti ratatmanam. So one who is engaged in the bhakti of Lord Vishnu, aprarabdha. Aprarabdha means those. So when papa is done, then it creates a precede condition. And then kutam to bijam, and then it fructifies. So there is aprarabdha and prarabdha. Right? So the prarabdha phala is what we are experiencing in this life. So in this life we have certain kind of body, we have certain kind of intelligence, certain kind of family, certain kind of environment, certain situations we go in life, certain accidents we go through, certain surgeries. All these things are prarabdha. They are based on the past life's actions or past lives' actions. But aprarabdha is what is not yet accounted for, that okay, this now you are going to get. So from aprarabdha it becomes kuta. Kuta is the precede condition. And then it becomes bija. Bija means the seed. And then the seed fructifies. So bija and falonmukham, they are considered prarabdha in one categorization. Aprarabdha and kuta is considered another categorization. And then there's another verse. But I think let's go back to Chaitanya Bhagavat. So yeah, this was a long verse, right? Text 19, because there were so many. We had to taste something. So this is what we tasted. And if you want to know the other glories of Sri Vasudeva Datta Thakur, then we can read the other verses from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Jagatera hitakari Vasudeva Datta sarva bhute kripalu Chaitanya rase matta. Sri Vasudeva Datta was the benefactor of the entire world. He was compassionate to all living entities. And he was intoxicated by the mellows of love for Lord Chaitanya. So the compassion for the living entities will not come until the next thing has happened. That is intoxication with the mellows of love. Because otherwise it will be artificial. Like, what is the reason for the compassion? There will be some other reason. When one experiences love for Lord Chaitanya, love for Krishna, then naturally one has nothing more to desire. And he is completely full. He knows what is the reason for suffering. He knows why I am in the material world. He knows what is the solution. And that is why he wants it for everyone, for the pleasure of the Lord. Vasudeva Thakur was the benefactor of everyone in this world. He was compassionate to all living entities. And he was intoxicated by the topmost of the 5 rasas. What is the topmost of the 5 rasas? What does it mean?
Madhurya.
Madhurya ras. Jai. Yes, Madhurya ras. Shanta Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya and Madhurya. So he was intoxicated by the topmost of the 5 rasas. That means here Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is revealing that he was in the Madhurya rasa, described by Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Because he was a Mahabhagavat, he did not find faults in others. He was always eager to benefit others, and he had unflinching love for Sri Hari, Guru and Vaishnava. In English language, he would be called a greater altruist. Altruist is one who wants to do well for others even at his own cost. even if he has to suffer to give others, right? So usually the equation is, material equation is win-win situation. That means I gain something, you gain something, 50-50. Or somebody may say, okay, I don't gain anything, but I want others to be welfare, but I'm not harmed. But this is even beyond that. Even if I am harmed, others should be benefited. Actually, this is our acharyas. That was Srila Prabhupada, right? What did he gain? He only he got so much bad health, and Srila Prabhupada said that because of some of the disciples not following, I'm suffering, because Srila Prabhupada is not supposed to have any bad health. Even our current acharyas, when Guru Vargas, when they have shown to any, let's say, astrologers or something, they would say, oh, you are supposed to have perfect health, but because you are preaching. But they are like, yes, this is what I'm supposed to do. Give happiness to everyone. So he did not find fault in others. This is a very important quality. Any verse, does it remind of any verse which says not finding faults in others? In NOI, Nectar of Instruction? The 3 categories of devotees. Krishneti Yes. Krishneti yasya giritam manasadriyeta. Right? Dikshashti chet pranatibhish cha bhajantam isham. So, one who has the holy name on his tongue, we should mentally give him respect. One who has taken proper diksha and taken the Guru Mantra from a bona fide spiritual master, we should offer obeisances to him. Dikshasti chet pranatibhish cha bhajantam isham. Then, whose association we should take? We should really hanker for Shushrushaya, with service. Shushrushaya bhajana vigna. Ananya manya. What is this qualification? Nindadi shunya hridamipsita sangalabdhya. That is the association we should hanker for. Nindadi shunya. That did not find fault. So he is a Uttamadhikari Mahabhagavad. Srila Vasudev Datta. Gunagrahiya dosha darashi sabha prati ishware vaishnave yatha yogya rati mati. He would see only the good qualities of others. This is amazing, right? And he did not find faults in anyone. So not finding fault doesn't mean that, oh, I will not artificially create a fault in somebody and find. No, there is a fault. There is a fault. There is a given. But he tries to find what is the good quality he has. Because he thinks, oh, the fault will go away. As soon as he becomes a devotee, Krishna promised it. Shipram bhavati dharmatma. So I don't have to worry about it. I just have to find out what are the good qualities he has. And I should just, I know he's going to become a devotee, and maybe Krishna will make me an instrument for him to become a devotee. That is how a Uttamadhikari sees. He sees everyone as Vaishnavas. Either right now Vaishnavas or in the future Vaishnavas. Right now they are not Vaishnavas, but in the future they are going to become Vaishnavas. And they will. But, so therefore I should not find fault in them, because it will become Vaishnava Aparad. This is the Uttama consciousness. Very tough. But this is the association we should hanker for. He had appropriate love and respect for the Supreme Lord and the Vaishnavas. Vasudeva datta dekhi Shri Gaursundar kole kari kandite lagila bahutara. So when Shri Gaursundar saw Vasudeva datta, he embraced him and cried profusely. Vasudeva datta dhari prabhura charana ucche sware lagi lena karite krandana. So Vasudeva datta grabbed the Lord's. How we wish we could be present in one of these assemblies and see these devotees crying, so that our heart also can melt. At least my heart can. Grabbed the Lord's lotus feet and began to cry loudly. Vasudeva kandite kyache hena jana shushka kashta pashanadi karaye krandana. Who was not affected by the crying of Vasudeva? Even persons with hearts as hard as dry wood and stone were moved to tears. So if we keep reading this Chaitanya Bhagavat and Chaitanya Charitamrita and Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, repeatedly we should just keep on reading this throughout our lives. And there's nothing else to do. What else is there to do? And then our heart also will melt by the mercy of Vasudeva Datta. Even persons whose hearts were as hard as inanimate objects were unable to maintain their composure when they saw Vasudeva Datta cry. Because someday we will be able to see. Someday we will be able to get access into these Leelas if we continue to serve this beautiful scriptures. Vasudeva dattera yateka guna sima Vasudeva datta vahi nahika upama. Vasudeva Datta had such wonderful qualities that he could be compared only with himself. And this is This is the wonder of a pure devotee. There are 8 billion people in this world. Take good quality from everyone and combine it. Take one pure devotee, no comparison. So that is you cannot compare a pure devotee with anyone. No karmi, no jnani, no yogi, no politician, no educationist, no social worker, no, nothing. Cannot compare. Hena se prabhura priti dattera vishaya prabhu bale ami vasudevera nishaya. So Lord had such love for Vasudeva, he said, I belong to Vasudev Datta. Apane Shri Gaura Chandra Bale Bara Bara. Again and again Lord said, Esharira Vasudeva Dattera Amara. This body of mine belongs to whom? Vasudeva Datta. So the devotee considers himself property of the Lord, and Lord considers himself the property of his devotee. So that is why Srila Prabhupada said, we don't want to become God. We want to become even serve God, that He will give us the superior position of His. So you see here, Lord is giving a superior position to His devotee, greater than God, out of love, in service. Sri Gaursundara considered that he had been purchased by Sri Vasudev Thakur. In other words, he considered himself the property of Vasudev Datta. Datta ma yatha veche tatha ivikaya satya satya ihate anyatha kichunaya. Vasudev Datta may sell me wherever he likes. That means I am his property. He can sell me wherever he likes. So this is the intense affection of the Lord. Out of intense affection, these statements come. Right? So we have to understand the bhav behind the statement. This is a fact. It's beyond explanation. No one should disbelieve this statement. But it's intense affection. Vasudeva dattera vatasha yara gaya lagi ache tara Krishna rakshibe sadaya. One who is touched by the air that has touched the body of Vasudeva Datta will always be protected by Krishna. And that is why we should want to be around Vasudeva Datta. We should want to be around the dust that has touched his lotus feet. Because then we will be delivered. Satyamika Hishuna Vaishnava Mandala. So all you Vaishnava Mandala, Shri Vrindavan Das Thakur is speaking to you. E deha amara, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is speaking to you. E deha amara Vasudevera Kevala. Listen, O Vaishnavas, I tell you the truth. This body of mine belongs to Vasudeva alone. Lord is repeating it. Repeating means emphasis. Emphasis means the feeling is so deep in Lord's heart, and he is so moved by the seeing Vasudeva Datta and his compassion that he is repeating this statement. Vasudeva Dattere Prabhura Kripa Shuni Anande Vaishnava Gana Kare Haridwani. So what else can you do? Everyone is overwhelmed. When the Vaishnavas heard the Lord's merciful statement about Vasudeva Datta, they joyfully chanted the name of Hari 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 Hari. Text 32. Bhakta bada ite Gaursundar se jane, ye na kare bhakta tane, te na kare na apane. Gaursundara knows how to increase the glories of the devotees. He gives the qualities out because they love him, and then he glorifies the qualities. That is the Lord's pastime. As the devotees glorify the Lord glorifies the devotees. All the qualities are coming from the Lord, but because the devotee loves the Lord so intensely, they naturally develop all the qualities of the Lord. Because when we meditate on something, we become like them. So that is why we should not meditate on materialists, because then we don't want to become like them, right? Unnecessarily our process of perfection will get delayed. So we should meditate on devotees and Krishna. Ei mata range Prabhu Shri Gaursundara kata dina rahilena Shri Vasera ghara. In this way, our dear Shri Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Shri Gaursundara, joyfully stayed a few days in the house of the wonderful devotee Srivas Thakur. Srivas Thakur ki jai, Shri Gaursundara ki jai, Vasudeva Datta ki jai, Samasta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Bhakti Sangha Japa Group ki jai. Hare Krishna. Okay, devotees, thank you. Thank you for your association and giving me this opportunity to serve you and purify myself.
Hare Krishna Prabhu Dandat Pranam. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for the very beautiful class. And thank you for sorry for I was not able to answer when you were asking questions. I'm not good with that shlokas that much. Dear
No
devotees,
problem.
if you have any questions or realizations, please go ahead. I don't see any questions, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, can you say a little bit about the New Year resolutions tomorrow? Like I take Prabhu, but break on second day only. Or it max 1 week.
Can you please repeat the question, Prabhuji?
New Year resolutions. like we
New Year
take the vow,
resolution.
Prabhu. Yeah.
Yes.
So I
So
break on second day only, Prabhu.
yeah, so New Year resolutions are good because it's a beginning of New Year. So we can evaluate our last year in terms of how we did. Uh, uh, Resolutions or no resolution, how we did overall, right? How was our progress? And then we should set some targets. So first thing about resolution is we should have a goal that in this year I will do this, and that should be our goal for the whole year, right? It's not that if I followed one day and not another day then it's gone. No, it's a goal, it's a target. So for example, I will study every day for certain number of minutes. It could be 5 minutes or it could be 1 hour, depending on what is available and what everyone has to decide what is the most little more difficulty than what we can comfortably take. My Guru Maharaj, Srila His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj says that we should take austerity which is little bit out of our comfort zone. If we are too comfortable with our commitments, then it's not really making an impact. We should be a little uncomfortable. So we should set those goals, spiritual goals in terms of doing daily. And it doesn't matter if let's say we are able to do it 3 days and then we are not able to do 2 days. Still the goal is there. The goal is to do every day. And then we should note down. So what we can do is we can create, by those calendars or mark a calendar. And then we can monthly check mark, right? So in this month, how many days I was able to follow, and write down. Because our brains, the way we are taught in our schools and colleges, is that we are very mechanistic, right? So we need to calculate everything. So we should use our our tendency and our practice to calculate in this. So we should write down, like in a month or in a week, 7 days are there. How many days was I able to follow? What it will do is it will remind us of our commitment, and it will make us prepared so that we can continue the next week. So New Year resolution should be a New Year goal that we want to follow throughout the year, and we should keep checking. So let's say we resolve to read every day for 30 minutes. And in the first month, we could only do for 5 days. No problem. At least we did for 5 days. Is it a success or a failure? It's a success, because 5 days you were able to read. Then next month, can I make 5 to 6 or 5 to 28, right? But my goal is 28 because I said every day I have to read. But if it becomes 5 to 7, it's a success. Or 5 to 15, it's even better success. So that way we continue to evaluate, and as we get in the rhythm of accounting ourselves to the Lord in the form of writing down what we have, which we can show to our guides. If we have a superiors who are guiding us, we can show it to them that this was my commitment, this is how I'm doing. So that way we are, whatever Krishna has given us mercy and access, we are being accountable to Krishna. My dear Krishna, this is what I have done in this month. I will improve. I'm trying. I need your mercy. I really want this. So keep desiring, keep trying, keep doing. Don't lose hope. Utsahan, Nishchaya, Dhairya. These 3 things are required for us. This is a lifelong process, and or a year-long process in this case for 2026. So Utsahan is enthusiasm. We should be very enthusiastic. This process is for the brave-hearted. Like soldiers in the battlefield. When we are, because our fight is against the Maya, which is in our heart, right? It's not Maya Devi, but it's the Maya, the attraction to Maya, Krishna Maya that we have. That is what we are fighting against. So Utsahan Nishchayat, we should be very confident. We should be very determined in our resolution. And Dhairyat, we should be very patient. We should not be worried about the result, because karmanyeva adhikaraste. That's why we should read Bhagavad Gita. Karmanyeva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. We are not worried about the result. My goal is to please Krishna. And this is what I'm going to do. So from the instructions that I've received, that I have not been able to follow, I'm going to take 1 or 2 or 3, whatever, and then write them down. One important thing is the goals. You write them down and see them every day. You have a notepad in your computer, or if you have a diary, you can maintain that diary and write down on that page, these are my resolution or my goals for 2026. And those should be valid throughout the year. You should not forget them. You should not miss that. You should maybe replicate it in 2-3 places and review it every day. So that is one thought. I mean, other Vaishnavas may have other thoughts, but that is what I try to do. So I'm just sharing with you. Okay, Prabhuji? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. It's so helpful. I will try to implement.
Hare
And in
Krishna.
the chat, devotees are thanking you, Prabhu. Devgan Mataji is thanking you. Very beautiful class.
Hare
Thank you so
Krishna.
much, Prabhuji.
I think Prahladananda Prabhuji
Yes, Prabhuji.
has
Please
a
go ahead.
Prabhuji, Danvat Pranam, Hare
Dhanam
Krishna.
Pranam Prabhuji, very nice. Such a beautiful satsang you gave this morning. Another one small suggestion I was going to give to Sunil
Yes,
Prabhu
Prabhu.
about
Please.
New Well. I recently, and just last week or so, I decided to donate some money to as a donation to ISKCON Bhagavat Mahavidyalaya in Govardhan. I know Kanai Krishnadas Prabhuji, who is the dean there. So I attended his classes and they are asking some Nitya Seva, you know. So I said, okay, I will send some, every month, some kind of like that. Surprisingly, they sent me whole self-study course, right? That now you can do this study, like about 24 courses they are offering free of charge, since because you are committed to to donate some like that. So what I was suggesting to other Prabhujis also, that little donate, yagna dan tapa we all have to do, gruhas or mantras or whatever, correct? So why not do some little, and Lord Krishna, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is responding with self-study courses, so valuable. So, so it's one of the suggestions I was giving, that, we should do little help to the mission of Srila Prabhupada. And, and that way we can also get so much courses which can we do at self-study like that. And one of them is lessons from the legends, Mahabharata an overview, Das Mul Tattva, all these things, it's very nice courses. So if you could do
Yeah.
that, it's good. That will be
Wonderful.
nice. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Another thing you said was, the regular study every day. Yeah, that's another very important thing we should do. Bhagavatam says, no uttam slok vartayam justam tat kathamutam syat sambramo antakale smartam tat padambujam. We'll have no problem remembering Lord Sri Krishna lotus feet, provided we did this study every day. Every day, 1 hour Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, like that if you do. But when Krishna promises that, he will come and rescue us like that. So this was little, I wanted to share probably. Thank you very much for allowing me to speak. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so
Hari
much, Prabhuji. For me,
Hari
reading is only difficult, Prabhu. Hearing is so easy. We'll try to read also. Thank you so
I
much,
know.
Prabhuji.
Right. Hari Bol.
So, Prabhuji, with your permission, can we close the call?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Bhakti Sangha
Thank you
Japa,
so much,
all
Prabhuji.
devotees ki
Looking
jai.
forward for your association.
Hare Krishna.
Vancha kalpataubhyasya kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo
Vaishnavyo Namo Namo.
Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda ki
Vaishnavinda
jai.
ki
Jai.
Chaitanya
jai.
Bhagavat ki jai.
Jai.
His Gaursundar Charan Prabhu ki jai.
Hare
Jai.
Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for the
Hare
beautiful
Krishna.
class.
Hare
Happy
Krishna
New Year in
Prabhuji.
advance.
Happy
Hare
New
Bol.
Year.
Happy
Hare
New
Hare
Year,
Krishna.
Krishna.
everyone.
Everyone for joining. Happy New Year in advance for everyone. Hari Bol.
Happy New Year.